0 to 60 in 3.5. Baby, you got the keys.
Oh, you put a lot of effort into that one. I could hear it. Keys.
Oh. All right, let's just
you were
start.
Gonna hit like a Christina Aguilera at the end there. Whoa.
Keys. Baby, you got the keys.
Okay. Hit him with that vibrato.
All right. What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday, and we are filled with it today. We had a great weekend thanks to e.l.f. Cosmetics, and this podcast is presented by e.l.f. Cosmetics. We're absolutely loving their products. We had a great event in Syracuse this past weekend at the Orange Crate thanks to e.l.f. Cosmetics. We have the products sitting right next to us right now. We have the Power Grip Primer, which if you want your makeup to stay on all day long, you're going to start off with this Power Grip Primer. We also have the Halo Glow liquid filter. My favorite thing to do with this product is, mix it together on my hand, take the e.l.f. contour brush, and after I do my foundation, I mix the Halo Glow liquid filter into it and put it in the spots where I'm going to do a little contour, a little bronzing situation. Also love the beauty wands from e.l.f. as well. All the products are so great.
Yeah, we had so much fun giving away stuff, giving away products, having everyone be so excited about it.
Yep.
We also have the Power Grip Primer out here in our studio, which is great. There's two different ones. I know, but I'm doubling down on it because I also started to use. Normally, I've always used the blue one, the Power Grip Primer. Would you call this blue or green? Blue, yeah.
Teal.
Yeah. Okay. The pink one has niacinamide in it as well, which I started using, and it is great. Both Power Grip Primers, fantastic. And honestly, yeah, e.l.f. Cosmetics, 100% vegan and cruelty-free, which is very important. No animal ingredients, no animal testing worldwide. You can learn more at elfcosmetics.com or on the e.l.f. Cosmetics app.
Yep.
So make sure you're stocking up on your e.l.f. Cosmetics.
Keep tagging us. We love to see it, and we love e.l.f. Cosmetics.
I've been using, and I used it, sorry, I have one more thing to add to it. I used it on Saturday, and then I used it again this morning. I really like it for like a soft glam. It's very pretty. Is the e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara in the brown color, which is very nice. I don't normally use brown mascara, but I tried it out, and I really like it.
Brown mascara is very nice.
Yeah, very subtle, pretty. So go get your hands on that too. It's a great mascara.
Yep, and tag us in the products, or not in the products. Tag us when you get the products. We love to see it, and thank you to e.l.f. Cosmetics. So we had a great weekend in Syracuse.
We did.
Great event.
In and out.
Yep.
We left, well, first of all, Friday was kind of a disaster leaving because it was flooding everywhere in New York. The greater Manhattan, the island of Manhattan was okay, but it was like around the outer boroughs, just like Queens, Brooklyn, really bad flooding. Our flight was out of LaGuardia. 3 of you guys live in Jersey. Noah's flight was canceled. He was on an earlier flight. His flight got canceled. So we were like, uh-oh, this is not a good sign. That flight got canceled. We're looking at videos of people like driving through rivers basically to get through LaGuardia. We're like, we're never going to get to LaGuardia. Regardless of if our plane takes off on time or not, which it did. Left on time, shockingly. But we were just worried about physically getting to LaGuardia. Especially for you guys, it would have taken you 3 hours. I
don't even know if we would have, the cars were going underwater.
Yeah.
From videos I saw. I didn't even want to get, I didn't even want a chance.
People clearly did make it to the airport.
They made it, but so many cars were going underwater, and I didn't want to be a part of that.
Yeah. So we ended up driving.
Well, we didn't drive.
Well, I know. Well, we were in a car.
A car service took us
to Syracuse. When we left Friday afternoon and got straight up there. And it really wasn't that bad. Was not, it was, took us 4.5 hours?
Yeah, we got in the car around 3:30 and we got there at 9 o'clock on the dot, pretty much.
So closer to 5.
Yeah,
plus.
so it was like 5 hours.
There were some stops, some breaks.
Yeah,
you know,
well, there was one stop. The driver wanted to take a
yeah,
stop.
but I the whole loop-de-loop to get to the gas station at the beginning too. I feel like
he
we added some time there.
right. He decided to not get gas before getting us, which was an interesting move. But we made it, and it was a casual car ride. I feel like everyone did their thing.
Yeah, I watched
Headphones
all of Love
in,
Is Blind.
Watched
New
Love Is
episodes.
Blind. We got there, immediately went to Dinosaur Barbecue,
Yep,
and honestly, it was delicious.
it was great.
They ran out of some things.
We showed up late on alumni weekend, so hand up, that's on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like probably super busy, but yeah, everything that we originally ordered that they didn't have, which was disappointing, but everything that we ended up eating was very, very good.
Right. I had the pulled pork sliders. They were delicious.
Pulled pork was delicious.
But they ran
Mac
out of
and
ribs.
cheese was
They
so good.
They ran out
Fried
of
green
brisket.
tomatoes.
Oh, those were delicious
Those were
too.
so good.
No mashed potatoes. They ran out of that.
I love
so
a good
but
fried green tomato.
That was really good. And the mac and cheese was delicious.
Yeah, yeah.
And the beans were kind of
Beans were good.
The beans were kind of rocking.
Yeah. Yeah, you did like those beans.
Those beans tasted
good.
really good.
They were good. Little barbecue bean.
It was delicious.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I am embarrassed at how much I'm enjoying
Yeah.
these beans right now.
And we were up and ready to go Saturday morning.
Yes, we
It
were.
was an early start, probably the earliest I've started drinking. And I felt like I could clock it at maybe my friends, not mine, but my friend's senior year of college. So maybe like probably 2016. That I was having a drink at 9:30 in the morning.
That was the first time I've ever drank that early ever.
Yeah. It's a trip.
Yeah.
Actually, there's got to be an Eagles game that I was having a Bloody Mary pretty early.
Yeah, like a tailgate.
Yeah.
That's true.
There definitely is.
Yeah, no, that was definitely the earliest that I have ever started drinking, and it showed.
Yeah.
It was apparent.
We had a great time.
I had a fantastic time.
Everything with the whole event was great. They did a great job. The whole setup was really cute.
It was so cool.
The build out was really, really pretty, and like everybody that normally comes to the Orange Crate was like, "Oh my god, it looks so great back here."
Yeah,
so.
it was so cool, and we met so many great people, and truly, I had a blast.
Yeah.
Like genuinely a really, really fun time.
I love hanging out with our girlies.
Same. So do I. That's what I loved the most about it was like we were just at a bar hanging out with everybody.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there was no show. There was, people weren't coming to see us like perform of any sorts.
Yeah.
It was like literally just come hang out and drink with us.
Yep.
Like that's what that was, and that's what we did, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely was. We had a fun time. And then when it ended, we just went straight to the airport because we had a 3:00 flight.
Mm-hmm.
We got through that airport. We were flying Syracuse to Newark.
Mm-hmm.
And just added on a little extra fun there. Let me tell you, when I saw that there was a Johnny Rockets next to our gates, I could not have been more excited. Johnny Rockets is just a core memory place.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Johnny Rockets in the Short Hills Mall. It's not there anymore. It's been gone for a long time. They actually, I believe they made the area into a cheesecake factory. But
What's your beef with the Cheesecake Factory?
I would have keep Johnny Rockets.
Okay.
Fair. And it was just one of the those are the best days.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the mall with your mom, do some shopping. She'd take you to Johnny Rockets, get a big milkshake.
Yeah.
The waiters and waitresses would do a little dance, like they get up and sing.
Yeah.
And it was the best. And I love Johnny Rockets. And once it was gone from that area, there was not a Johnny Rockets close to me. So I just never was really able to go again. So anytime I see one, I get excited.
It's exciting.
I get excited.
It was very exciting in that moment because we were very hungry.
Yeah.
And this is where I think as a group...
And cocktails.
Yeah. As a group, things took a turn, but like not in a bad way,
No.
just in a way where everything from the bar was hitting us, and by everything I mean the drinks.
Yeah, well, we just
And
thought to keep. We were like, at this point, we just got to keep drinking, right? So we don't just absolutely feel like dog shit on the plane.
I couldn't be more ready to keep drinking.
Yeah.
And
You were the first person to order that takeoff teeny, and then we all just followed suit.
I did. I was like, let me get that espresso takeoff teeny, please.
Nothing like a espresso martini in the Syracuse airport at the Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets. I seriously.
It honestly would have been good if they didn't pour like I don't know what they did. I don't know if it was like a simple syrup or what, or literally if they just took like a sweet and low and opened it up and poured it in there.
Let me tell you, Johnny Rockets was great. The food was fantastic. Sarah lost her phone like right before, so we went through TSA. Sarah lost her phone, and she was so fucking casual about it that I can't stop talking about how cool she was when she lost her. Like, I've never, you know, people lose their phone.
You know what I was thinking though? Like, when did Sarah go get her?
She didn't go get it.
No,
Somebody
but
went and got it for her.
I know that, but like, how did you get through security?
Well, I was standing with Sarah, and because you guys were on the pre-check, we were on a different line. Which, by the way, I remember calling under the thing, and this is where the scaries hit me. But Sarah went up to the TSA and handed her ID, and they were like, boarding pass. She goes, I don't have it. Can you just look me up? And I was like, what? Like, I couldn't, like, there was nobody more cool.
They do have that
I know,
technology.
but there was nobody more cool in that moment where she was like, I don't have it. Can you just look me up?
Yep.
And I was like, I've never seen somebody be so fucking casual about losing their phone. Like, usually when someone loses their phone, it's like all chaos. It like ensues.
Yeah, did you watch the episodes of Real Housewives in New York?
No.
Oh boy.
And
I'll talk about it later,
and it's just like the worst feeling in the world when you lose your phone.
Yeah.
She walks right up. She's like, nah, I don't have it. I'm like, what? And then we get to Johnny Rockets, and I'm like, Sarah, or whatever, from what I remember, I was like, are you worried about your phone? She was like, no, it's freeing. I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden her phone appeared.
And look, maybe that's the attitude you have to have. Because she was like, it'll come back to me.
She was like, it's going to show up. I was
like, I know I had it. Like, and it was either in the car or it's here somewhere.
Yeah. And then I was texting Marty being like, Sarah lost. Like, we couldn't think of how to find Sarah's phone because we were all under the influence. And I texted Marty being like, Sarah lost her phone. And he was like, well, why does Sarah know her boyfriend's number? Just call her boyfriend and ask for the locate, like for her to check the location. I was like, oh, so smart. Like, none of us were thinking in that moment. But Johnny Rockets was delicioso. And I was very convinced that I was going to make it out that night.
Couldn't have been more convinced.
I was so convinced that I was about to have the best night of my life.
You were calling Joe. You were like, Joe, giddy up, pal.
I was like, let's get ready.
Me and Matt are coming into the city. We're going out tonight.
I was like, we're coming to your friend's apartment. Let's get ready to fucking rumble because we're about to have the night of our lives. And that did not happen.
Which was also hysterical because, like, for context of anybody that wasn't with us, it was literally 2 p.m. So, like,
it felt so much later.
Like, Joe, like, hadn't even he was going to meet his friends, but he hadn't even left yet. So he was like, yeah, I'm in my apartment, like, hanging, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just... It's a Saturday at 2 p.m. Like nothing too crazy happening quite yet. And we were on the phone being like, get ready for the night of your life.
Like, you're not prepared. And also
in my head, I knew there was just no shot.
And
I'm like,
Matt
there's
was like,
no way Rhea's going to go home to her apartment and then leave to come to the city.
He was like, yeah, I'm going to shower right now. I'll be ready when you get back.
Yeah, and he was just going along. Yes, honey. Sure, honey.
That was literally just yessing me to death. Like, yes, absolutely. Sounds good.
No, we'll totally go out.
He was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Fran's apartment. Okay, okay. And so we got on the plane.
Yeah,
and
we had a little bit of a delay. That's why you went on Instagram Live.
And
we left the gate, and then they were like, "Oh, we can't take off for another 30 minutes." So you were like, oh, "Well, in that case,
this is how I know I was in a different kind of state." Is when I went to the bath. I was like, "Fran, I really have to go to the bathroom." And you're like, okay, go. And I went, I asked them for a cup of water.
Yeah.
And on my way back, security guard Dan asked me if it was vodka. And I was like, okay, I see the impression I'm giving off today. It's water.
No, we were definitely being loud as hell too, you know?
I know, I can't believe like I was screaming on the plane like that. Like, how embarrassing, but also we had a blast. And then I guess I went on Instagram Live, which you should never do when you are under the influence.
You thought it was a great idea.
Apparently so.
Yeah. We were laughing, giggling.
I know.
Having a good time.
And when I woke up the next day to a bunch of messages of people asking me if I was okay and if I made it out, I was so confused. I was like, what?
How, like, how do all these people know I was talking about making it out later?
I was like, how do all these people know that I like was in that state and like being like, I'm definitely going out. And then I remember we went on Instagram Live and I was like, oh no. But when I got home, I kept that TikTok Jordan said, like, reminded me of that TikTok, the you little fucking tattletale rat. And I just kept saying that over and over. You know, when you latch on to something, I just kept saying it over and over again. And I was apparently rolling around my apartment, just like on the floor being like, you fucking little tattletale rat, like cracking myself up, thinking I was the funniest person ever. And there was just no way that I was going to make it like on the street. Like, I think I would have gotten arrested for public intoxication if I was if I was allowed out any further.
I'm laughing. Wouldn't it have been funny if we just like had Noah pull out we were like just like pulled out microphones and recorded a podcast in the Johnny Rockets?
Oh, it would have been hilarious.
We were screaming anyway, so like, what's the difference?
Why didn't we think of that? I mean, not that I would want to hear myself in that state, but
no.
We did vlog.
No, we did. Yeah.
And I got sent that
I feel
footage.
like we didn't film a lot of the later
Not
stage.
at Johnny Rockets, but there's a video of me running in the airport with my hands in the air.
Yeah.
Screaming, take me to church, because they were going to the Hosier concert.
Yeah. I
didn't
took
like
a
that
video of
video.
us too when we got on the plane.
Oh.
I don't know if there's any sound to it though.
I have a bunch of like selfies of us on the plane.
There is. We're just giggling so hard.
That I'll keep forever.
Oh, I forgot how much you were snorting. Listen to you.
She's been snorting like a French bulldog.
Every other laugh was a snort. I was like, I've never heard you snort when you laugh before.
Really?
I mean, occasionally, but this was like every 5 seconds there was a snort added in. Like,
I was remixing.
oh my
my
God.
laugh.
I mean, literally, like, talk about it.
Best day ever. The pictures are so funny.
This is us in our espresso teenies in the Johnny Rockets at the Syracuse airport.
We'll have to edit that into the YouTube.
We're just like, love is love and life.
Oh my God! Wait, I have this picture of us. See, this is bad because people hear us talking about the pictures, so we'll have to put in the.
I know.
I have this.
I uploaded those pictures to our group. Yeah.
Just the caption. Yeah, we love life.
Oh man.
It was a great time.
Thank God that was literally like a 40-minute flight.
Thank God. And so when we landed, it was like game over.
Yeah.
If that flight didn't get in my way, there was no one stopping me. But that flight,
it's
really
also
got
like
in my
the
way.
flight was short enough where they didn't. There was no like drinks or anything, you know. So I was like, damn, what would it have been better? Like, what would have happened if we were on like a 2-hour flight and we were just
drinking?
We were just
all
having
flight.
cocktails in the air, and then we landed.
You know what also hit me? When
I think it wouldn't have mattered. I think we were down for the
I think
count.
we were done. And when we were leaving, you gave me like a call me, and I was like, I got you. Yeah. And then when I got home and I looked in the mirror and saw what I looked like, I was like, no fucking way. Like, you can't save yourself now.
Yeah.
You can't fix this. You know that feeling though? You know, I talk about this, how I'm much more of a night drinker because I'd rather wake up hungover. I'd rather sleep and wake up hungover than be hungover at 9 p.m. at night.
I'd prefer that.
Oh no. It's a torture chamber for me. I was like,
I can't wake up in the morning feeling like shit. I'd rather like feel like shit at 10 p.m. and just go to bed and wake up feeling better.
Well, then what? Like, I fell asleep too early, so then I woke up at 1:30 in the morning hungover, and I was like, this is fucking awful. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I feel like this is awful. Get me out of this.
And this was like such a genuine text from your lovely fiance. 6:15 p.m. IDK of Ria's making it out. She is passed out. LMAO. And I was like, that was so nice. I did not think she was going to make it out. So we're good.
I think it's just because I was like screaming so much about how I was definitely showing up to your apartment that you had to be notified that I was definitely
super fair.
Not showing up to your apartment.
In my mind, I know you. I was like, if I don't hear from her, she's asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's, you know, that, and I was not going to be the one to make contact. I was like, if she wants to rally.
Yeah.
Because then Joe was cracking me up too because he was like you were going to go out. And I was like, if Rhea rallied, I would have rallied. And he was like, no, you wouldn't.
You definitely
I was like, I don't know. I think I would have.
I think you definitely would have. I think if I was like, Fran, get your fucking ass up, we're going, you would have been there.
I think I would have done it.
So it was actually just such a fantastic day. I
we had a lot of
we
fun.
had so much fun.
Yep.
And thank you to all the lovely people who came and talked to us and hung out with us and drank with us. We really had a blast. I woke up yesterday morning, and I sent out those feeler texts being like, guys, I really have the scaries right now.
Yeah.
Can anybody confirm that I'm okay?
You were so fun.
And everybody confirmed that
Yeah.
it was fun. And that's all you need is the confirmation that it was a good time.
It was fun. There was like not one. The most out of bounds thing that you did was trying to bring back the plank. We were planking.
I was so somebody DM me this. I sent it to you guys. And I was like,
We cannot be out here planking.
yeah, somebody DM me.
But other than that, totally fine.
I was at the event Saturday, and when I walked in, you were grittying across the carpet and flopped on the chairs and pretended to fly. Honestly, iconic, but not shocked you didn't make it out.
Yeah.
First of all, I wasn't pretending to fly. I was planking. But
Yeah.
I love the fact that she thought I was pretending to fly.
Yep.
Like the point of view of looking at me and thinking she's pretending to fly
She's
right
pretending
now
to fly is hilarious.
awesome.
Yeah, no. Nope, just bringing back a good old plank.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, really there really was not one single out of bounds thing.
Honestly,
It was fun.
There never really is when we're drunk together. Like
No.
we just have a good time.
Yeah.
Just a lot of laughs. Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love.
All right.
Saturday was a movie.
Yeah, I was like, shit, this is the craziest day of my life. All
No, we
right,
had a great
anyways.
time. It was great.
And then I was thinking about how I have to day drink on Saturday, this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. I was like,
Hey, you'll survive.
fucking reel it in,
Yeah.
Maria.
You will survive.
I will survive. Hey. Okay. Anyways, topic time. Noah, how did you feel? You went to the Hosier concert. How was it?
I did. It was incredible.
I asked Noah how it was. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
He was like, and that was Tommy was saying his first concert ever, like technically.
I think like
first
big
real
concert. Yeah.
And he's like, I get why people like concerts. Like
If it's that good, if it's
just
like Hosier
really
level,
a crazy thing.
it is. But I mean, I said it the first time I saw him, the greatest voice I've ever
Live.
Yeah.
like just insane.
Voice of an angel, that guy.
Yeah.
Really, you get emotional.
Did you?
Sarah said he brought his dad out.
He brought his dad out, who's a drummer. He said he's never done that before, and his dad has the exact same hair that he has, but it's just gray. So it's like
That's
long hair down to his
Yeah,
shoulders,
yeah.
but just gray. And he played the drums with him. And do you guys know Madison Cunningham?
No.
Oh, well, she was the opener, but then he brought her back out, and they played The song The Wait.
Wow.
But it was,
I mean, I'm sure it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like I said, voice of an absolute angel, that guy.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about John Mayer's new Sirius XM channel?
oh,
Are you gonna download Sirius?
no, honestly, I'm not. Like, I don't know if I'll listen. Like, I don't. First of all, I'm kind of confused. Like, is he talking?
What a fan you are.
Or is he just playing music?
Sometimes they talk.
I think it's a little bit of both.
I feel like it's mainly just like he's just gonna like pick songs and play.
Yeah.
Which like I don't know. It's like
Hey guys, you're listening to John Mayer
If
Radio.
he's
Like a little
doing-
bit of that.
exactly.
if he's talking, then yeah, I'll listen. But I'm more excited to see him in concert. I don't really.
Oh yeah, you're going this week.
Yeah, I'm going.
2 big concerts. All right, let's get into the topics for today. Obviously, we are going to be covering the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce bonanza. That's what we're calling the Chiefs.
Football
and,
bonanza.
The Chiefs and Jets game is the bonanza. Mauricio and Kyle Richards confirmed that they are separated, and we have a Kardashian group chat update and weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday.
Monday.
Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday.
Oh, they get a little flare at the end. Beep, beep.
On Monday.
Yeah, we have a shit ton of stuff that we watched. Or
Yeah.
at least I do.
Well,
My list is long.
You did.
My list is long.
And we're going to get into it. All right, time for the bonanza. I talked about going bowling recently, and I'm absolutely horrible, but that does not mean that it's not a fun time, you know? Sometimes being bad at things can make things even more fun because you're just having a good time. Doesn't matter if you're bad or you're good. And if you're looking for the ultimate spot for a fun night out, you want to do something a little bit more casual, but you still want to have fun, Bolero's got you covered. With amazing deals like Night Strike and After Party, you'll enjoy a night of unlimited bowling for one low price. Visit a Bolero near you every Monday and Friday night and take advantage of this season's season's best deals on the lane. Say you don't really, you want to go and do something Friday night, but you're not looking to go out, but you want to do something fun, go to Bolero. They have the deals every Monday and Friday night. Take advantage of the season's best deals. Head on over to Bolero.com and find a place near you. Once again, head on over to Bolero.com and find a place near you. All right, bonanza time. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, that's the first two names coming to my mind right now because I don't even know where to begin because this is, I know I already said it, it's a bonanza. It's just a nonstop bonanza of
nonstop coverage, action.
So to put it,
I mean, we can start with the fact that they want the girls' dinner Saturday night.
Yes, let's start there.
So everybody freaked out about that, right? Was it Saturday or Saturday night?
It was Saturday night.
And Taylor, there were some pictures, first of all, in the afternoon, I guess, star-studded event for Blake Lively's, one of their daughter's birthdays. It's like Bradley Cooper and his kid.
Bless you.
There was one other very famous person and their child. I forget.
That's okay.
Anyway, Blake, Taylor, Sophie Turner were seen going into Emilio's Bailado, right?
Bailado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, not the name of the restaurant.
You said it with a little more flair.
No, I know the name of the restaurant, but
it was Sophie Turner, Blake Lively, Taylor Swift,
Blake's sister Robin,
and Blake's sister Teen Witch, and
Robin, who's married to Bart Johnson, who is Coach Bolton.
Oh yes,
I never forget that every time I see her. And they went into the restaurant. Apparently, they went through the side back door because they took over the back room of Emilio's. And then Brittany Mahomes and some other friends / maybe Chiefs' wives and girlfriends, wags, went through the front, met them, and then they all had the back room together.
So cool. Honestly, just how nice of Taylor to include Brittany Mahomes. I know everyone shits on Brittany Mahomes, and I know we have as well for the fun and games. But at the same time, I thought about it, and I thought that's really sweet. That's really sweet for her
that's
to
what I said. I think she's
get
trying,
together.
You're trying to hang out with your new guys' friend,
Yeah, I just thought it was really
wives.
Really sweet because I feel like Taylor, and now I don't know for sure, but she's dated these moody artists or actors, and they have their friends, but they're all friends or not all, but a lot of them are friends in Hollywood, and it doesn't come with a set group of friends. But when you are a part of a team, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, they're besties. Right. They also have their friends on the team.
They're not pregame and football games having a great time.
They're together
hanging in the box.
Yeah, they're
chicken fingers and wine.
Right. They're together all the time, and so they bond a lot, and it's oh, how nice of Taylor to want to be included in this, for them to include her and for her to include them. And I just was happy to see that. And
nobody's hit the lottery more than Brittany Mahomes has, truly.
I just thought it was I thought it was nice. And I'm starting to feel bad for the amount of hate that Brittany Mahomes gets on the internet. I am. I felt bad because she was included in some paparazzi pictures of Taylor Swift at the game.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was unfortunate because that was the pictures that were shared.
Right, and it's we've all eaten before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're just not getting photographed doing it. So look, you might get a chicken finger in the side of your mouth, and
if there was a picture of me at a football game in a suite, I'm most likely eating chicken fingers as well.
Yeah. There
is a picture of you from this weekend.
Yeah.
There's actually a ton of pictures of me eating chicken fingers from this weekend.
Yep.
And are they so pleasant? No. Are some of them cute? Yes. Of course, but
yeah, my mouth is full in every single one of them.
It happens, and so I am starting to feel a little bad for oh my god, and look at Brittany in the corner stuffing her face. Yeah. It's okay, well she's just in the sweet eating like everybody else.
Yep.
But I think the whole thing is nice, and everyone's happy that everyone's getting along, having fun. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Sophie Turner, Sabrina Carpenter, they're all going to the game.
Anthony.
Sunday, Anthony.
Queer Eye.
They're going to MetLife Stadium.
Taylor's brother, Austin.
Mm-hmm. They're going to MetLife Stadium for the Chiefs vs. Jets game. And all is fine and dandy. Everyone's happy to see them there. Everyone's happy to see the pictures of them going to the stadium, being in the suite. Where the line has been crossed is the fact that the NFL, NBC, Carson Daly.
Yeah. I'll be honest, that falls on NBC. That's
but the
not
NFL,
even the NFL. That's NBC.
Did you see their bio this morning?
Yeah. Yes, I have, and that's like, this is my thing.
It's unfair to the other teams.
That my thing with the social media is a little bit more. I forgive that a little bit more, just because in my mind I'm like, oh, there's probably some young kid running these accounts. Like they're like not like a kid, but probably somebody in their 20s running these social media accounts. And they're leaning into it a little bit.
But it's not up to them. And it's like, the main reason they're doing it is because these do numbers. Like,
well, I understand, but the bio, okay, so let's go over a couple of things.
The bio is not crazy to me. That's like, a bio change is harmless.
The NFL making their bio, the Chiefs are now 2-0, like, is, I think, crazy.
NBC was so over the top that I can't.
Chiefs are 2-0
I
as
can't
Swifties.
get over it.
Yeah, NBC was so over the top too, but the NFL also has no chill. What about the other teams? Like, is it fucked up that I feel bad for the other teams?
Nobody cares about them.
I know, but I'm just like, this is crazy. Like the NFL, like they will do their hardest to make sure the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I just
and the Chiefs are very good, so they can make it there on their own. They won the last Super Bowl, so I'm not saying that. No. I'm just saying that it's like, chill out a little bit, like be a little bit more cool about this.
Yeah,
it's so not cool.
I mean, even like the Chiefs social media people are posting like song lyrics and stuff, so obviously they're all leaning into it too. The NBC broadcast was just beyond over the top. It's just like, can we all act like we've seen a celebrity at a sports game before? Like, why are we acting like this is the craziest thing ever? And I understand maybe there's some new people watching football. That's fine. Mention it once or twice, but you don't need the full video intro, the full the voice bit that they did with Carson Daly, where they like superimposed the judges in because the judges didn't say any words. So it was just like, oh, you just like take a cut of them from some other point in time and have like Carson Daly make this joke about it was so the montage of the TikTok clips and everything. Mike Tirico literally opened the game with being like, "Hey Swifties, like what are we doing?
Mike
This
Tirico
is Sunday Night Football.
She's here."
Yeah, like it was just like
crazy. No, like there's no chill going on.
No, it was
I can't believe
ridiculous.
I can't believe NBC was like, all right, let's call up Carson Daly. We need this. We need this commercial.
There's only one man for the job.
Yeah, the host of The Voice.
It's just crazy. Like, I just feel like, obviously we all love to see that Taylor's at the game. I like seeing the pictures of her in the suite.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. She's out in public and whatever. But for the broad, and I'm not somebody who's, tuned into Sunday Night Football every night.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just like, as an outsider opinion, being like, I can imagine how annoyed some people are getting at this, that just have no care in the world and all they want to do is watch football. You know what I mean? Like picture like grandparents being like, just want to watch some football. Why am I being greeted, hey Swifties? Like, they're just like, I don't even think, maybe there are some Swifties out there that love it and they're happy that Taylor Swift is being propped up like this. And that's cool. But I also think there are a ton of Swifties who don't want this. And they're like, we don't, like, this is a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming from the standpoint of loving her, loving football. And I'm like in the camp of, we're trying too hard. It's too much pressure. Mm-hmm. I am such a fan of this pairing that the over-the-top focus on every little thing that they're doing is just an insane amount of outside pressure on people that are casually dating. Like,
I agree.
It's so crazy to me. That's why that I'm like, I'm coming from like, hey, chill out. If we want them to live happily ever after, we all need to calm down.
I agree.
Like, they need to be able to live their life a little bit. She should be allowed to be in the suite. Sure, pan to her a couple times. Oh, Taylor's here. They put a little, I mean, they do that anyway for celebrities that show up at games. If you have a big celebrity, they put the little lower third and it's like, oh, Taylor Swift's here. They show her.
They didn't even show Paul Rudd on the screen.
But we don't need to. I know. I love that Jeremy Strong was there as a Jets fan, and it was like, no. It's just like, it's so crazy to me. And I get it that she is so mega famous and gets this attention and is bringing in these new viewers to football, and literally girls went to the game just to maybe catch a glimpse of Taylor Swift. So I get that it's like a huge marketing opportunity, but it just feels like so forced.
Yeah.
And it just isn't necessary. Like, Swifties would watch the game anyway, knowing that Taylor is there and is dating Travis Kelce now, that like Swifties would tune in regardless of the absolute over-the-top video packages and mentions that NBC did last night. You know, like, they don't need all that stuff because everybody's watching anyway.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, you know, I made a video on Chicks in the Office where I said, I could imagine Travis is like, chill out. Like, you're being so not cool. You're embarrassing me. And somebody commented and said, you guys are doing the same thing. And I said, we are a pop culture podcast, not the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, it is totally
We're not
different
controlling the NBC
for
broadcast.
us to talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift than for the NFL and the NBC Sunday Night Football broadcast to only be talking about this. Like, it's just taken on a life of its own where it's just, I feel like it's just a little bit out of control.
Yeah.
And
it was wild the first time the Chiefs scored. It wasn't Travis Kelce, but the first camera cut was to Taylor Swift. Right after they scored.
Yeah. It was a lot. And I think, like you said, like, it could be cool. Like, she's there. Oh, a little mention. Taylor Swift's here. Cool. They would come across way cooler if they did that. But now it's just, oh my gosh.
I know.
It's taken over.
And I just feel like the pressure
also, just let
of
these
being on camera
just
the
let
whole time.
these two people date.
I know, they don't, like, I'd be so worried about every little thing that I do. Every single thing could be caught on camera. You're watching this game. Like, that's crazy. Even at the end of the game, it seemed like a cute moment. She kind of like poked Blake Lively. I think she was kind of like, oh, look at him, you know, like whatever, pointing down at the fields. And I think she was joking about them all being like, hey, good game, like whatever, like giving each other props after a game. But it's just like every single moment could potentially be caught on camera because they're just obsessed with the Welcome to New York promo, this music. It was just, NBC did a lot. And we can't go on like this. Like, if she continues to go to games, we cannot have this kind of production. Now, in my mind, I think NBC also went so over the top because they were worried that this game was going to be god awful. So it ended up not being a bad game. But I think, like, they're like, let's just push the Taylor Swift stuff heavy because our whole angle, like, we lost our Sunday Night Football, Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers. Like, we don't have that. So let's just push the Taylor Swift stuff, like, so heavy. But it was still just way, way, way too much. And I feel like Taylor hopefully can go to more games in peace. Like, if she wants to go watch him play, to have it not be
I wonder
an absolute spectacle every time she goes.
I wonder if she is bothered by this.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I am curious to see if she's like, all right, chill out, or if she likes it. We don't know.
I feel like the Sunday Night Football, though, like, probably has a lot to do with this game. Like, it's a big game.
Yeah, and I think you also know, you're asking, last night specifically, I will say, I think you're kind of asking for that. You know you're going to be watched. She knows how it went in Kansas City, but going to New York and also bringing, like, all these mega famous people, that's where you got to know what you're signing up for. Like, you're showing up with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, like absolute mega A-list celebrities, like all in a box together. You know you're going to be drawing a ton of attention.
Yeah, I feel like it was fun for her to bring her friends because when she went to the game in Kansas City, she was surrounded by more of Travis's friends. So this time around, she's probably like, let me bring my New York friends.
And I thought it was a good mix too because Travis's friends were still in the box also. So it was like, hey, maybe this is a fun time for everybody to meet. Like, I think Taylor and Blake have a very close friendship, and I think, like, this is also made up in my head, but I just think Taylor looks at Blake not necessarily for approval, but like is like, oh, this is, what's going on now and everything, and hoping that she likes him. It's just like it's just anytime you introduce a new guy that you're dating to your friends, you want your friends to like him.
Yeah, I bet Ryan Reynolds is like excited too. You know what I mean? He's like, football guy.
Yeah. I got an absolutely hilarious text from my mom though that I was cracking up. She texted our family and wrote, I just looked at Taylor Swift's tour schedule. No way this relationship survives. It's nice she has this little break now, but starts in South America in a month, then to the Far East and Europe, and back in the US until next November. I don't know how she does it. Like fair, super fair. But that's why all the attention is so crazy, because it's like they are casually dating and we're watching their every move. There are cameras everywhere. There's paparazzi. I had a friend that walked by, not like to see her, but just, she lives in the neighborhood where Taylor lives, and she said it was insane. The amount of cameras, the people, like all just standing there waiting outside where she lives, and people were like, oh, Travis stayed there Saturday night. You could see him leaving Sunday morning. Like, it's just
That's scary that people know where she lives.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope she has the best like obviously she needs it, but
I just
top of the line security at a place like that.
I don't know why people feel like okay showing up to somebody's home and
yeah,
standing out there.
It is
like,
crazy to me.
What goes through your head that you feel like that's okay?
I know. Being in a public place is so different, but like literally standing outside somebody's home is a lot.
Incredibly bizarre.
It's a lot.
Like, they don't think at all like this is kind of weird. I'm showing up to somebody's home. Like, it's very weird. But yeah, it's a lot. And she does have to go back on tour soon. So we'll see how this all plays out. But I hope their relationship goes well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope behind closed doors they're having a great time.
I'm sure it looks like they are
public
from, what
hoopla.
we all see.
The hoopla.
Yeah, the bonanza.
It is. It's a hoopla bonanza.
Yeah, it's out of control.
It is totally out of control. I got a good laugh. Got to mention my guy Jason Kelce, because Donna was at the game in Philly and then she went to the game in New York. There's also, don't worry, we saw her greeting Taylor as well in the box, but Donna sat with Jake from State Farm.
Is Donna like taking private
at the
jets?
game in Philly? No, I'm assuming
Philly to
New York is not exactly a long ride.
An hour and a half.
Yeah, literally.
That's a good point.
So that like made me laugh. But Jason posted a picture of the two of them, and he wrote, "I also have a superstar in my corner at Jake from State Farm." But I like, Donna. She's wearing the podcast hat. They do ads for State Farm on New Heights, so. It's just a good branding moment. Yeah. Good branding moment for them.
I did think it was kind of nuts that people were like, Donna Kelce went from the game in Philly to the game at MetLife. And I was like, it's literally an hour and a half.
So close.
It's so close. Maybe less than that. Maybe an hour and 10.
I didn't connect that because when they said that, I'm like, oh shit.
You're like, oh my God. Games? No, people literally were like, that's crazy. I was like,
no,
it's
like
literally
the game was at 1 o'clock in Philadelphia and 8:25 in New York.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time to get there.
Like, she probably had time to hang with Jason, see the kids, and then go to
she maybe
and then go to MetLife.
She even probably grabbed a bite to eat with them.
Yeah. Plenty of
all right,
time.
let's move on to the next topic, because I think people maybe have gotten enough of that. Kyle Richards and Mauricio have confirmed that they are separated. Mauricio was stopped by TMZ, and he said,
yeah, he's had a couple little back and forths.
Right. Things were taken out of context for an interview he did, and he clarified that they have had a rough year and they are separated right now. No plans to divorce, but right now they are separated. And then Kyle Richards was also caught by paparazzi, and she confirmed that they are separated, but she would not confirm her relationship with Morgan Wade, which people have been speculating on for months now. I think, it's interesting now that they are confirming they're separated. Months ago when it came out, they wrote on Instagram that they weren't separating. They probably just weren't ready for the world to know their business, which I think is fair. But now they're telling everyone they are separated, but no plans to divorce. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like I get it. I appreciate that sentiment, right? That they're like, we've been married for, I think 26 years, or like it's been a long time, that they're like, yes, we are separated right now, but we're not ready to make that divorce. Like, divorce is very final. You're signing those papers and you're splitting up completely. So it's like, we're not ready to fully say that it's over. Maybe we're taking some time for ourselves, separate, live life, and maybe they'd be able to reconnect at some point. So
that's just an update on that. I don't have much to say about it.
I hope Mauricio does well in Dancing with the Stars this week.
Yeah. And I thought he was respectful in the way he talked about it as well.
I think so as well. Yeah.
Last topic before we get into the weekly watch report, there's a Kardashian group chat update. Kourtney Kardashian posted a screenshot on her story with her friends where they were all like, can you please clarify that we were not in the Kourtney group chat? Simon Hugg cracked me up. He was like, I'm getting trolls in my DMs like threatening me for being in the group chat, and I was not in it. And then he reposted on his story and just wrote like, still I love you, at Kim Kardashian. But like we weren't in the group chat.
I saw an interesting take on TikTok where they played the clip back of what Kim said, and Kim wasn't 100% like, we have a chat with your friends. It was like, your friends come to us and then we talk about it. So if you kind of listen to what she's saying, it does make sense for that chat to be like a sister, not Kourtney text, which is what Kourtney has clarified. She said, I know who, she's like, it was Kim, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie had a not Kourtney chat. So, and when you listen to what Kim said, it does kind of make sense. Like, she wasn't like, oh, your friends are like, we're texting with your friends about it in a group chat, plain and simple. It was like, your friends have come to us and then we have talked about it in our not Kourtney group chat. Either way, still ruthless. I don't think it necessarily like matters per se if the friends were in the group chat or not, like, because if Kim's claiming like maybe they were all individually going to them and saying something, whether that was happening or it was in a group chat, like things were still being said, so claims Kim. Maybe that's not the case, but at the end of the day, Kourtney really wanted to make it clear that it was her sister.
Well, I also think that's fair because people were attacking, like, I think she's making it clear because people were going after her friends being like, how can you be in this? And she was like, no, it's just my sister. So
don't worry, it's just my sister's in a group chat without me.
Yeah. So. It's family drama.
Yep. Sometimes you got to shoot off a side text about a family member,
Just happens.
Yep.
Okay, that wraps up the topics.
It does.
So let's get into the weekly watch report.
All right, let's get into everything we watched this week on the weekly watch report. But first, guys, I got a nice cold Coors Light in my hand. Mountains are blue, ready to go. Fall doesn't have to be the buzzkill to your summer chill. Coors Light helps you find moments to unwind. Maybe you have a big work presentation. Follow it with a happy hour, some friends, and a cold Coors Light. Decompress with a relaxing day on the trail that ends with a well-earned Coors Light. Whenever you need to hit reset, reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way, you always know when it's time to chill. So when you need to hit reset, just open a Coors Light. I will say on the weekends, enjoy a nice cold Coors Light. Go into my fridge. Maybe there is a football game on. Have a nice cold Coors Light. Maybe you're headed to the bar, watching with some friends. Can get Coors Light at the bar. Just always in those moments that you want to enjoy yourself, unwind, have fun. Coors Light is the one we choose when we need to unwind. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/chicks. And always celebrate responsibly from Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Weekly watch report on Monday. 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 Oh wait, I messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch
we're
report
starting from the
on
beginning.
Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday. Weekly watch report on Monday.
There we go. Yes.
On Monday.
On Monday.
Let's get to the weekly watch report where we talked about the things we watched this week. We're doing it on
It's
Monday.
been a long break.
Just in case you didn't get it the first time. We're doing them on Mondays now.
Yep.
Okay, mine's gonna be quickie. Last night I watched the Rachel Lee documentary on HBO Max, the leader of the Bling Ring. They made a new documentary with her. I shut it off halfway through. Thought it was boring.
Off to a hot start.
Thought it was boring. That gets a D+.
Okay. For the first half.
For the first half. I was bored.
Yeah.
Desperate Housewives, per usual, still an A. Still rocking. Love the way I'm going through this.
Good.
Love the way I'm watching Desperate
Consistent.
Housewives. Consistent,
Slow.
1 to 2 episodes a day.
Yeah. Slow and steady.
Some days I
We'll
don't.
get you to the end.
Yeah, some days I don't even watch them.
Fair.
I'm loving it.
Okay.
A.
Good.
Bobby Flay every night before we go to bed, baby. Every single night before we go to bed.
Yep.
We pop on Bobby and I get all nuzzled up.
It's a great
Fall
asleep
Fall
show.
asleep on my guy's chest watching
Yeah.
Bobby Flay. It's true. I'm not kidding. That's exactly what we do every single night. It's just nice to like pay attention. You know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, is he going to win? Is he not going to win? It's not even about that. It's just more like
And
I
they're
like
short
learning.
episodes.
Short. And I like learning about the things that they make. I'm inspired.
It's inspiring you in the kitchen.
It is. I'm going to get back in the kitchen tonight. Don't worry, everybody. Where I belong. Just kidding. Bad joke. All right.
What a second.
Bobby Flay?
Yeah.
Hey. Duh. Don't ask silly questions.
Yeah.
Next question.
You didn't say it.
Oh my God, I'm going to choke. Okay. Love is Blind.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Should we just talk about
Let's talk
whole thing?
Let's talk about Love is Blind.
Okay.
The people on this season of Love is Blind are maybe some of the worst I have seen.
And
Some of them.
And I think
I hate them all.
production felt that way also. And honestly, I've been really sitting with this and sitting with how production has mapped out this season. Because first of all, if you're not up to date, do not listen to this.
Do not listen.
Spoiler alert. If you have not watched episodes 1 through 7,
Don't listen.
do not listen because here come spoilers. Spoiler train. Choo choo. Okay.
Don't fucking listen.
Okay, so I just feel like the fact that there are only 2 potential weddings, they really turned things around and tried to make some big drama moments happen and some big things happen with the people, because like the drama within the couples, there isn't too much stuff going on with only 2 couples at the moment, like where we're at. I mean, at the beginning, obviously different. So that's what's happening right now. The pods.
I just got the symbol. I'm sniffling into the mic too much. Sorry.
The pods, they
I have a stuffy nose.
Yeah, I feel you, girl. The pods were very interesting because something happened, which we talked kind of about on Friday, but something happened that's never happened before, where 2 people knew each other already, had dated. Now, this
Never
is where
before
they're
seen.
like, they're really not, Uche's really not putting a label on. They were seeing each other. They were dating.
For months.
Yes. So they kept that to them and really didn't share it with anybody. And production also claims that they didn't know. And they didn't really reveal that towards the end because I think they were worried about what that would mean for the experiment and for them on the show. Like, would they just be asked to leave? Like, what would happen? That's what I feel like. It's like, oh, you're not going to right off the bat say you know who this person is. Especially because then it's like, if you're talking to the other girls or the other guys and you're like, oh, I dated Lydia, they're going to be like, oh, so like you know what Lydia looks like you're the only one, and vice versa. So they would have just blown the whole thing up. So they don't say anything until we're basically at the end here, and he's about to propose. Uche is going to propose to Aaliyah. Now, the Lydia-Aaliyah friendship, weird. I don't know how you felt about it, but they've not known each other for that long.
Mm-hmm.
They've just met.
Yep.
And the way Lydia latched onto her felt a lot.
It was weird, and then when you learn after,
Yeah.
it is weirder,
It got weirder.
in your head.
Yes.
Because you may
the comments she was making.
right, and you may think, oh, they're in a place where they're bonding, and you may latch onto somebody quickly in a place like this because you only have each other.
Yeah.
So make friendships. But learning what happened after is then where you're like, oh, that is weird.
And I don't blame Aaliyah for leaving at all, because I think Lydia, it wasn't necessarily Uche, but I think Lydia was making her extremely uncomfortable and giving her all this information. It's like, oh, let me tell you about his dog, and let me tell you about his house and his friends.
Too much.
Let me tell you about, oh, we slept together 3 months ago. Like, it was like, whoa,
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not asking for this.
Right.
And like, he might propose tomorrow. What? Whoa. It's just, I don't blame her. That was a lot to take in.
Totally. And I feel like it's like you're telling her all that stuff directly, where if he was telling her, like, obviously these people dated other people before they got into these pods. You know what I'm saying? But you now know the person and they're giving you all the details. It's like, okay, relax.
Yeah. And there's also something that's very uncomfortable about learning about your partner or potential partner's past from somebody else. Like, it's one thing if you hear it from them and you're like, and they lay it out for you and they tell you about it. But when you hear it from somebody else, it gives you a very muddled view. It's like, oh my God, well, who's like, is she telling the truth? Like, what's going on? Like, whatever. So it just seemed like a lot. Now, Uche in general as a character was very interesting to me. He obviously is very like set in his ways, I would say, blunt. And he did, I would say that I am invested in Love is Blind, but I don't like check these people's social medias and like see what's going on. But if I see something else that's shared, then I pay attention. So like Not Skinny But Not Fat reshared this, so then I saw it. But Uche did a AMA on his Instagram, and somebody wrote, why did you tell Leah it was over? Was she not what you expected looks wise? And he said the "it's over between us" is a post-production soundbite. At lunch, we both forgave each other, we held hands, and we shared our first kiss. Then we agreed to date outside the show. Production's like obsession, I think, with the marriage aspect of this show. Obviously, it's the whole point. I get it. But you miss out on so many other things that's happening. Like, I would have loved to have seen that actual conversation. And the same thing with...
And I think that would have been fine. Like, everyone's like, okay, they're going to date. They're not going to get married, but they may date.
I feel like production was like, oh my God, we can't have two couples that are just like dating. Because then we found out that Chris and Johnny reunited as well and started dating. So it's like, oh my God, what, like now we're focusing on these couples.
Our show's not working.
Now we're focusing on these couples that aren't getting married, right? And then like I feel like maybe they thought they lost it, because those are all things I would have wanted to see. Chris and Johnny, all of a sudden they just showed up at a party and it's like, oh, we're together, we like made it work. And it's like, what? How did you not have the cameras rolling for any of these moments?
Yeah.
Or even if you did, how do you, like, you have that footage, you don't put it in the show?
I felt like this season was very messy all around. I felt like none of the couples were really clicking, and I think that's maybe why they panicked. I don't think anybody should end up married. I don't think any of them should get married from what we've seen. Like, I just can't stand any of them. Like, there's not any of them that I like. It's bad.
So Lydia ended up with Milton, right? And Lydia's 30. Milton's 24. They talk about it all the time.
Milton drives me up a fucking wall, this guy.
Yeah.
He drives me crazy. He really is the type of, his age shows.
Yeah.
Because he really goes with the I'm going to be mean and act like it's flirting.
Yeah.
Path, and I hate it so much, where everything out of his mouth is like, shut up, you're like not that funny, oh shut up, you have big ears. Like, I'm just like, everything he's saying, he's like yeah, he's like, you're old, fuck you. And I'm like, there's nothing I hate more than the humor or flirting or whatever when a guy is being mean because he can't actually show his emotions and be nice. Like, that's not cute. You're actually just really annoying. Yeah. And Lydia is playing right into it. She's like eating it up for whatever reason. I know.
I just feel like these two specifically, for their own separate reasons, were El Desperado for not proposals, but like actual like proposal / marriage. I don't know if that came with like wanting to stay on the show. That's how I kind of feel about Milton. Lydia, I think, like just really fucking wants to get married, which is fine, but I think it's going about it in a weird way, because now there's like, is this continued drama, right? Like, Uche is basically saying she was borderline stalking him.
Yeah, stage 5 clinger.
And that, like, so
she stalked my whole entire life on the boardwalk.
She freaked out about that. He claims that he has the evidence behind that, the proof, everything, like whatever. And then that is what was happening. And he also claims that Lydia 100% came on the show because she knew Uche was doing it and she lied about her knowing Uche. And it's like that just behind the scenes like gets very messy. So those two, Lydia and Milton, as of right now, are like still together. I think we're going to see Milton's family meet her, and like that's going to be like I think they're going to be like, wait, this doesn't make sense. I don't know if that's going to matter too much to him, but
it was very uncomfortable seeing Uche and Lydia in the pods for the first time, where Lydia was like, "You don't know my voice."
Yeah, that
and
was
he was like, "No,"
so uncomfortable.
And she was like, "Is this a sign?" And he was like, "No." Like he was like, "No." Like she was like really like, "Oh my God, this may be a sign for us," and he was just not having it.
Which really does make me think that she went in knowing that he was going to be there.
It could very well be possible.
Yeah. There's just, I feel for Lydia in the sense that I feel like she really wants to be with somebody and it just isn't working and she may be clinging to the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy was really the guy that had everybody, like he had connections with what seemed like everybody. Johnny wanted him, he wanted Stacy, Chris wanted Johnny. She breaks up with Chris for Izzy, but Izzy ended up with Stacy. Izzy and Johnny I don't think would have worked at all. Izzy and Stacy like maybe, but now this I guess this money situation is gonna be a thing where like he was like, we can't like split anything.
That was it was all, fun and games. She clogged the toilet.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. And then it went to Izzy didn't clean out one of the drawers that he had with, I guess, when girls leave stuff there, he puts it all in a drawer. He didn't clean
weird.
that out. Yeah,
first of all, that
probably
weird.
Clean that out before your fiance is going to come. That would be smart.
And also being 29 years old and not having like a single actual plate is crazy. Or a glass.
Yeah.
What come on.
And no nightstands.
Yeah. That is wild to me. And I understand like maybe it turned into like a bigger fight, but 2 glasses, like just not even like a memorabilia cup that's made out of plastic you got at a sporting event.
You never kept anything. Kind of wild.
Yeah.
And then it transitioned into another conversation where Stacy was like, the man pays for every meal.
Yeah.
And Izzy was like, so we're never gonna like split anything.
Yeah, I mean, clearly she's comfortable where she's at. Not only, does she work and, has this house and bought money, but her family has money. And you could tell from her dad, like her dad speaking to Izzy was like, yeah, I just know if it falls on you and you can't handle it, then it falls on me, So he's like, oh, at the end of the day, there's always daddy to fix the problems, which I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say it like makes Stacy look bad, but it's clearly something that's very important to her, and that's fine if it is. It's not going to be important for everyone. Like if you have a real genuine connection with him and like love him, you make it work. You don't break up with him because he can't pay for every single dinner you go out for.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you're a team. You end up a couple, you're a team. Like you work together to do that. Clearly she has these values that I don't necessarily agree with.
Right. It's like somebody like in a team, it's like somebody gets this, somebody gets that. It's like a back and forth. Like, of course you want him to treat you nicely and spoil you. Yeah. But at the same time, you can't be like, you have to pay for every single thing.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't know how that's going to go. Taylor and JP broke up after the trip to Mexico. Thank God. Proud of Taylor.
The Lord.
Thank God she did that. That man, JP, I don't know. At first it was like, okay, in the pods, he's sweet, he's shy. Definitely was like, there's a lot of red, white, and blue everywhere. In the American flags everywhere. In the pods. That translated to Mexico. I mean, I'm sorry, like, we live in a great country. America, you know, if you want to have pride for your country, 100%. Sure. But if you're wearing American flag gear at every turn, red flag.
At every
Absolute
single occasion, every time you put a shirt on, it's American flag gear.
You wear a USA jersey in bed.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting into bed with my partner if he's wearing an American flag USA penny. It's just not
An American flag bathing suit is appropriate on one day and one day only. The 4th of July. I mean, you put that thing in the closet until the 4th of July.
Yeah, I mean, maybe once in a while in the summer, you know, I'm not gonna, like, you throw on a bathing suit.
Sure, maybe for a theme party.
Yeah, but it's just like, it was, like you said, it's fine.
Grow up.
If you want to wear, if you want to wear it, it's fine, right? Like, you could be proud. But if you are wearing it for every single occasion,
everything, shirts, polos, bathing
everything,
suits, pillows.
It wasn't like he was
everything.
It was everything.
The one thing that I am sad we missed out on, if they did stay together, was how when they move into the next phase, they go and they obviously go and see where the other they live together in a new spot, but they go and see what their homes look like. I need to see the inside of JP's apartment or home or whatever it is. The amount of memorabilia that has to be in that apartment, it has to be astounding. I'm so curious.
I know.
Like, there's got to be flags, posters, coasters.
It just was.
There might be an American flag rug.
It just was at every turn.
Every turn.
And it's just like, what? Like,
I know.
That would be the case for anything that people wear too much of.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, this is just too much.
Now let's talk about the makeup thing, because it seemed like he was just being shy. Taylor is adorable. So cute, so sweet.
She might be the only person I liked on
I
the
know.
show.
Well, 100%. I agree. And she was really trying, and he was not giving her anything back. And finally, on like the last night of their time in Mexico, he basically let her know that during the reveal, she had on too much makeup for his taste, and that he didn't really know how to bring that up. And he likes her so much more without them. Like, now that they were in Mexico, she wasn't wearing makeup. He likes her so much more. Okay, you still haven't talked to her in 3 days.
This is it was genuinely jaw dropping. One of the most crazy conversations I've seen on this type of show. It was such a red flag. He was so disrespectful. It was like, my way or the highway. Yeah. I want you to look a certain way. And of course, it's a compliment.
By the way, having that attitude paired with all the American flag shit,
yeah, it just
not good.
It was just like I don't know. It was just too. It was too, like, in a look into what's to come.
Yeah,
like, if this is how he's acting right now, trying to control whether or not you wear makeup, what is there to come in a marriage? Because I am telling you, it's not good. Once somebody starts having a say in what you look like, what you wear, your makeup, how you dress, it's a problem.
100%.
And she's beautiful with or without makeup. And he was like, it's a compliment. Like, most girls would love to hear that. And it's like, okay, yes, when a girl hears, oh my God, you're so beautiful, like, you don't need makeup, it is a compliment in a sense. But when you are telling her straight up, like, oh, it's caked on, like, your makeup got on me. Like, it was just so rude. And just a look in the way that he would be as a partner is just not somebody you want to have.
No.
Like, at all. Just not supportive at all. It's my way. I want you to look a certain way. Like, he's like acting like he was grossed out by her.
Yeah.
All because she wore her makeup. And I love the fact that she held her own. And I love that she walked away from him.
Same.
Like, the fact that she broke up with him the next day or whenever it was made me so happy and so proud of her, because there are plenty of times where people end up in that loop of being told what to do by their significant other, and they don't get out of it, and it ends up really bad. So I was so happy for her.
And even a more heightened experience where you're on a TV show and, like, you know that if you end it right now, like, you're not really on the show anymore.
Right.
Like, kind of throwing in that aspect of it also, where it's like, you know, you're going on a TV show, obviously. Yes, maybe you want to find somebody, but you also, like, are going to be on TV. And knowing that it's like, hey, this is not working. I'm not going to put myself through this even to, like, get to the end. I'm ending it now.
I was so happy for her. I was like, thank God, get away from this man, because what's to come is not going to be good.
Imagine you get dressed up, like, you're putting on makeup because it it makes you feel good. You know, and that's what she was saying. She was like, I put on makeup for myself. Like, I feel pretty. Like, I'm not doing it to make other people like me. Like, that's crazy. So imagine you're just like going to a nice event with your partner. You get dressed up, you put on the nice dress, you do your makeup, you feel great, and you walk out and he's like, too much makeup. I'd be like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's just so, I don't even have, I was so disgusted by it. Genuinely, my mouth was on the floor. I couldn't believe what he was saying. I was so disgusted by him, and I just was so happy that she got the fuck out of that because, oh God, I cannot even imagine what that guy would be like in a fucking relationship. Like, just a nightmare.
Absolutely.
Like, hey, bro, maybe throw on a fucking different shirt once in a while, you know? Like, I'm shocked she didn't say that. She didn't say that to him. Like,
I know.
Oh, you don't like my makeup? Well, I don't like your fucking apparel.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
Yep. I think that's pretty much everyone. Obviously, we saw at the party. Like, and by the way, I really did not like how Izzy spoke to Johnny at that party. That was like, I get it. Maybe Johnny like said two different things, but anytime like a guy does that to me too, it just feels so icky. Like him going to Stacey afterwards and being like, I told her, like I showed her. It's like, you're a grown ass man. Like, have a conversation. You don't have to belittle her. She's like, she went through what she went through. Maybe she kind of worded things in a tough way, and obviously you may think that Chris is her second choice. Maybe Chris is, but maybe your second choice is the right choice, and you just couldn't get out of your own way. You know?
Yeah.
So
this show just shows how
it was a lot. That was a lot.
How immature a lot of people can be in relationships. And hopefully when people watch them back when they're on the show, they're like, oh, maybe I can change the way I act about that. And maybe I need to grow up with this because, man, some of these people, you just shake your head and you're like, oh,
yeah.
Do not want to deal with that.
Let's do a guess on. So we have Milton and Lydia and Izzy and Stacey. Who gets married? None or both or one? I think Izzy and Stacey get married.
Yeah, I would say absolutely not to Milton and Lydia.
I think
Milton's going to say no.
I'm like afraid that Milton and Lydia are going to get married. They shouldn't. That's where I'm like, they shouldn't. Yeah. But I kind of think they might. I kind of think both of them might get married.
I think Milton's going to end up saying no. And I think
just
that
because
Izzy
all the other
Stacey
couples like kind of fell apart.
Right. So like one of them has to. But one of them also has to say no at the altar. In my opinion.
You think?
Yeah. So I
don't know. I think they could both end up saying yes. That would be a win for the season for sure because they only had two couples.
Right. And none of them should get married. None of them. Yeah. Restart the whole thing.
Messy.
It's bad. But I'll give this season a B.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a B.
That's fair. Definitely like the most dramatic pods we've seen in a while. And that was because of obviously the dating thing. Like, and there were more, it felt like breakups and tougher moments. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. I'll give Love is Blind a B+. I watched, this is a long list because this list is plus this past weekend plus last weekend. Up to date. You watched it. You didn't have it on there, but we talked about it yesterday. It's D'Amelio show.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it?
I just saw clips online.
Okay. I love the D'Amelio show. I've watched it. I'm up to date. I've watched the first 4 episodes. I think we're at 4 or 5, but I think 4, maybe 5. I will give it a B. I'm enjoying it. It's interesting to me where the show has gone from when it first came out and they were like, it's a docuseries, you know? And now like it's a reality show. Like we're leaning into the drama, we're leaning into the dating. Like Landon's a part of the show. The first episode, Landon and Charlie, which was very funny, they made a slideshow for Dixie of potential guys that she could date. And they went through all of them and that was funny. So it's like they're leaning into these things. They're really sharing a lot of their lives. Dixie's been very open with her mental health, with her, I'm going to forget the name, but it's something. It's the premenstrual disorder. Yeah. It's basically where
PMD.
She just like her PMS is so bad for like the majority of PMD. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's PMD DD.
Like half the month is just a disaster for her, which is just, I mean, it's tough. And you can see her pain watching it. It's like very, it's hard, and how that affects the rest of the family. But there has been some big like drama moment they have been teasing where it's like Dixie's been upset, or Dixie and Charlie are both like, what's Charlie saying? What's Dixie saying? Like, we can't talk about it. That's one thing like we can't say on the show. So I don't know if they'll actually end up talking about it. They cut to like Mark and Heidi. I think they probably went through a rough patch during Dancing with the Stars, Mark and Heidi. And Charlie was obviously doing the show. So I think she wasn't as involved as Dixie was. And I think maybe she saw her parents get to a bad place as a couple. And that probably kind of fucked her up a little bit. And now that they're like they're seemingly fine again, it's frustrating for her. I think maybe she got put in the middle between the two of them. We'll see if that's actually what it was. The Kelsey documentary I watched, we talked about already. Loved it. I'll give that an A. I think it was a great watch. Laughed, cried, beautiful. Love that whole family. Last Saturday night, I came home early, watched Surf's Up and the Lizzie McGuire movie. Don't need to grade them, but great movies, both the same. Housewives, New York and Salt Lake City. New York, I was always a big fan of Uba. And she had this moment with her phone that was like nothing I've ever seen before, truly. Erin decided to prank her back because Uba had pushed her in the pool. And she had left her phone Uba left her phone in the car, and Erin was like, oh, I'm going to take her phone and whatever. She claims she had it for 45 minutes. Uba like lost her shit, got in Erin's face, was like, you took my phone. And, Uba explained it. She's a single woman. She checks in with her family every night, every morning when she's traveling a lot, makes sure she's okay. Understandable. I still think her reaction was absolutely a lot for that scenario. She's definitely warranted in being upset for sure. But I thought that was like, Erin took, I didn't really know if Erin deserved the reaction for the action, the consequence. But the season's been good. Their cast trip was very entertaining. A lot of ups, a lot of lows. I will give it I'll give these last two episodes a B. I've enjoyed it. Brynn and Tyler Cameron were on Watch What Happens Live. I watched the episode. It was so sexual the whole time. I just like some of the stuff Andy gets away with, whether even if it was just between Brynn and Tyler or just like questions that he asked Tyler. Nuts. Salt Lake City, also crazy. Salt Lake City, if you're not watching Salt Lake City, jump back into it because these ladies are out of their goddamn minds. Truly. Lisa Barlow had a freak out because they were doing a drag competition where they were it was like, do drag makeup, and then they were in Palm Springs with Trixie. Trixie's going to judge. Lisa had a meltdown that she could not do that makeup. She likes her makeup a specific way. She pays thousands and thousands of dollars to have her glam on retainer. She flew them out to Palm Springs. They have to do her glam. It was so dramatic and so ridiculous, but it was very Housewives that it just fit. But it was just it was an over the top reaction to having to change her makeup. Crazy. I'll give Salt Lake City, honestly, these last couple episodes have been really good. I'll give them an A-. I've been very thoroughly entertained. I like Monica, the new girl in the mix. She's been really good. Meredith at dinner was some of the most outrageous commentary. Her accent, her voice changed 4 times. It's crazy. These women are nuts. I watched Theater Camp, the movie. It was cute. Fine. give it a B. Like, I'll never watch it again, but it was cute.
Yeah.
Special Forces, I talked about a little bit already. I'll give it a C. It's good. Like, I'll definitely watch it, but it's not like groundbreaking. Only Murders in the Building. There's one episode left for the finale. I believe that comes out maybe tomorrow or Wednesday. Loved episodes 8 and 9.
Don't spoil it for me because I saved them so that I can watch them all in a row.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about it, actually, what's happening. So I'll just give that a B+. Joe and I watched The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar on Netflix. I feel like, no, that's right up your alley. Wes Anderson.
I wanted to watch it, but I didn't end up watching it.
Every time I watch a Wes Anderson thing, I'm like, this is so Wes Anderson, and I don't like Wes Anderson. Like, every time I watch it, I'm like,
it's just not for
this
you.
is so his style, but I just like don't. It's like, not necessarily for me.
40 minute.
It's 40 minutes. It's like it's Roald Dahl. The story is Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
So
his books scared me when I was a kid. Or
I loved his books.
What was his big
BFG?
BFG is the one that I had nightmares.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Matilda.
Yeah, BFG.
The Witches.
I was scared of.
Okay, I watched The Voice. I don't need to grade that. I'm along for the ride. I'm locked into The Voice. And then I watched the Harley and Katya documentary on Netflix. Something that I did not really know anything about. I weirdly fascinated by figure skating. And
I don't think that's weird. I am too.
Like when we get around to the Olympics time, I love watching the figure skating. I'm not a fan where I'm like watching the other competitions or anything like that, but I do love watching it. And when the trailer started playing on Netflix, I was like, oh, I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about the pairing. It was really interesting and a really good documentary. Sad as hell, but very good.
Do you think that we're interested in figure skating because of the amount of movies that we watched when we were younger? Ice Princess, Go Figure.
Totally, 100%.
Those were two of my favorite movies ever.
What's the other one I loved with she's a figure skater, he's a hockey player?
Isn't that Go Figure?
No.
Or no, she was a hockey player and then she became a figure skater.
No, there's one, they've made multiple versions of it. Shit. I think Christy Carlson Romano did one. I gotta find the name of it. It's gonna drive me nuts. I'm pretty sure she did. The Cutting Edge.
Oh yeah, Cutting Edge.
There's multiple Cutting Edge movies, and they all have the same premise. But I actually really do love the Christy Carlson Romano one. And there are other versions of that. Well, I believe the first one was actually with the mom from One Tree Hill. So I thought that documentary was great. Like I said, it's sad for sure. But I did not know anything about that story. And it's kind of crazy that it's made such an impact in that community, but also like in the Olympic sport community and, playing sports for your country. I will give that an A-. I thought that was really good. I was locked in the whole time watching that. And I found that to be very, very interesting and, obviously learning about something that I didn't know. I've also been casually watching Suits, but I don't really have too much commentary on that. I'm still on season 2. I think I've watched 3 episodes since the last time we talked. That's all my stuff.
I don't even know if we have room for all that on the graphic.
I told you, I've watched a lot of stuff.
I don't have a lot of stuff.
It's been a week and a half plus.
I did want to go see the new movie Dumb Money.
Yeah, Joe wants to see that too.
I planned on going to see it yesterday and I just slept all day.
Yeah.
But I will be seeing that soon. And I did want to watch the Wes Anderson movie, but I just couldn't get in the right mindset for that. I was very
So you're starting off hot with 2 things that you are mentioning but did not watch.
Yeah. I was like, did you hear any marketing or any? I was like, there's a new Wes Anderson movie?
Yeah, I guess because it's like a 40-minute short. It's not in theaters. It's on Netflix. I mean, that's kind of what's happening right now with anything coming out. There's no promotion for it.
Yeah, true.
Because actors can't promote the things.
Yeah. I watched the whole Painkiller series on Netflix. Have you guys?
Yeah, I saw that. I have not watched. Was it good?
Did you guys watch Dope Sick?
No.
It's basically the exact same story of Dope Sick. What was the show that we recently talked about where they made 2 versions of it? Oh, like the wife who kills.
Yeah. Candy, and then the one on HBO. I forgot the name.
Yeah, that's like exactly what this is. Where like Dope
Fire
Sick
Fest
came out.
documentaries.
Yeah, Dope Sick came out, and then this came out, and I started watching this, and I'm like, what? Like it's the same thing, just different actors. This one is just more like corny, and not as good. It's still like you get some different parts of the story, I guess, but I'll give it a C- the whole thing.
Okay.
It's just like overdone, and I'm like, Michael Keaton and Dope Sick was just way better. I started kind of watching Suits again. I'm still on season 5. I'm kind of falling out of it now. Like I'm Suitsed out.
Yeah, you maybe watched too much.
I think
You
so.
probably watched too much.
I'm on season 5. I give it a B-. It's still entertaining, but I'm just like, there's not like, how are there like 3 or 4 more seasons of it? Like I'm like, they've done everything.
Yep.
And then I rewatched The Wolf of Wall Street, which is an
classic,
an A-.
Yeah, they put it on Netflix recently. I saw that.
So
I was thinking about watching it.
I watched it in like parts. Like it's kind of become the thing that I just resume when I'm like nothing to watch. But great movie.
Yeah,
great movie.
Always a good movie. Yeah, I saw they recently put it on Netflix, and I said I'm gonna watch that soon.
That's all I got.
Wow. Okay, those are the things we watched.
Wow,
this week.
I really took over this week.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of stuff. Honestly, last week I told you, and I've shared, like, Rhea, I was talking to you about it, but like last week I just like had my period and felt like shit all week and just like sat on my couch and watched TV.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Just really like clocked a lot of hours.
That'll be me this week.
Yeah.
Noah has his period this week.
And we'll have to watch a ton of stuff.
Yeah. All right, those are the things we watched this week. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. We still have some tickets on sale for Charlotte and Philly. Next week is our Philly show, and we are so excited. We can't wait to see you guys there. Can't wait to hang out. Can't wait to perform. And the tickets are still on sale, and Chicago is sold out. New York City will be on sale soon. We'll let you guys know about that. We love you. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.